chat. All right, guys. Hey, everyone. I'm reading because I'm so nervous. Welcome to day 1 of my 50-day challenge of Go Live
50-day challenge, going live.
with YouTube. For the next 50 days, I'm going to go live to talk about training wild burros, what I'm learning, what works and what doesn't, and how the animals continue to surprise me.
Every single day.
If you can hear the dogs, Calamity's trying to play with Cooper right now.
Yeah, we got a Labrador Rumble Royale going on right over here.
Clam. Yeah, you don't need to. So, in 2023, we brought home our first wild donkeys. Dan agreed for me to go to a free clinic to watch about wild donkeys without a trailer. But I brought a trailer and ended up by bringing home 3 wild donkeys.
You know where that call went? Honey, there's a really cute donkey here.
Right? We had agreed on 2, but then I would call Dan and say, there's more, they're so cute. And they were big, guys. 13 hands. Is almost 13 too now.
Yeah. Yep.
So from those 3, we kept to be my ambassador donkey, and the other 2 are with their new home.
Yeah, they have a great forever home.
So why this challenge matters, guys? I'm really just hoping to get better and more comfortable at public speaking. I'm getting ready to do clinics, and Ty Evans has asked me to come do a clinic at his place in Utah. And even though I record videos for you guys all the time, I'm focused on the donkeys. I'm not focused at talking to anybody specific, so it's not so nerve-wracking to me. Right.
That's right. You have no problem with words when you're training a donkey, but now there's maybe people watching you, judging you.
So that's why I'm doing this. Why I started the YouTube channel was I knew when I brought home the 3 donkeys that I was only going to keep one of them. And donkeys really need to have the bond that they have with the person. So when I got them to do things, I wanted to help the new owner know how I got there. That's why I started the YouTube channel. But it's growing to be so much more. Like at first, you know, I'm able to make a little bit of money off from this. It's not very much, but my goal was to be able to make a dinner a year.
A dinner a year.
Yeah.
You've done that.
I've done that.
Yeah.
So
I'm making it right now.
yes, he is. We're gonna have nachos for dinner tonight, guys. So that's why I started the YouTube channel, was just to help donkey owners, the new donkey owners that bought the donkeys that I trained and gentled, have success at their new home for the donkey and the owner.
You know, there may be an element of people that we benefit as well is people know about the BLM sales where you can adopt a wild burro or a Mustang for $125 and keep it for a year and it's yours forever. But they're like, what's this world like? What's involved with, what is a wild donkey? Are they wild, or are they like a deer? So, you know, from the outside looking in a little bit, these training videos really give a real world snapshot of what it's like to gentle a wild burro.
True, because they are afraid of
you know,
people.
For those who are willing to invest the time and invest the time that it takes and that it needs, it's very rewarding. Very rewarding.
See, so the biggest misconceptions people have about gentling or training a wild burro, or even a donkey for that matter, it really, really matters that the donkey has a relationship with you. Clam. She's gonna have to go to her puppy jail because she wants to play with Cooper and she keeps punching him in the head with her paw. Okay, so donkeys really need to have that relationship, and they really need us to go slow so that they can understand things like step by step. So like if I'm teaching them to have forward movement, it starts with a step. And I think that people really don't understand how slow you need to go with donkeys. And as far as teaching them to actually appreciate people, it's the same thing. We have to go so slow at their own speed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably the biggest misconception. What do you think?
Yeah, to paraphrase my favorite trainer, it takes the amount of time that it needs. You got to go at the pace of the animal you're working with, not the animal you wish you were working with. You have to take them at face value for who you're really working with right this minute.
Right that day.
Yep.
Absolutely. That's from Ty Evans, guys. It will take the time that it takes.
Yep.
Let's see. What you hope people take away from the 50-day challenge? So we don't have service at the barn, so I'm not able to go live while I'm working with the animals. So what we'll do is work with the donkeys, because that's what we do, guys. I work my 9 to 5 job, so to speak, and then I go down to the barn, clean the pens, work with the donkeys. Then we'll come up here, do our go live, and hopefully what you get out of it is just a better understanding of what is involved with gentling and training a donkey. Do you have anything to add to that?
You know, for those of you who have embarked upon the journey of gentling your old wild donkey, drop us some notes. Let us know how rewarding or how frustrating, how maybe both. Just share with us your experience. We'd love to hear from you.
Heck yeah. I love hearing people send me messages like with questions of how to set up the pens, or should I separate my animals or not when I'm gentling them. Sometimes they have one that they can't get a halter on, or it's kicky. I love being in there to help you guys, and hearing your own success stories. Like, those are the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So then next, I have like a little printout of things to talk about. So if you see me looking down, it's 'cause
It's a cheat sheet.
yeah.
It's right there.
I'm using
It's
a
right
cheat
there.
sheet.
It's okay.
So share one short, memorable story working with the wilds. Oh, this is harder for me. Like, they're all so memorable. You know, here's one we had the 2 oldest donkeys that we've ever gentled, Joe and Don, but Poncho and Cisco is what they're on Facebook, but their nicknames were Joe and Don. And Joe, I could pet him, and he was pretty okay with me, unless there was anything happening on the entire property. So our property is a little over 20 acres, and if he saw something happening or somebody moving way across, I could no longer halter him or do anything else. So we always have to work with the donkey that we have today. And because of the other thing that was memorable with him was he would let me touch him and pet him, but he had a look in his eye that said, I would be just as happy to kick the snot out of you. So then we changed how we were doing things. And then after I changed how I was doing things, letting him approach me and letting him get that curiosity, I thought, well, I'm never going to go back to the other way. But yet now with Rosa and Pine, we went back to the other way. So there is no like black and white, cut in stone, how to do something for each animal.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if it was just the same exact black and white recipe?
Yeah.
It's not. You need to have a Swiss Army knife of skills, because every animal is individual. Yeah, you'll see patterns in between other animals which are similar, but no 2 donkeys are the same. They can be similar. What's amazing is how vastly different their personalities and the training tactics it takes to get through to them.
Absolutely.
It's just like, if there's any school teachers on here, just like a classroom of first graders. You know, they don't all exactly fit the same mold. The same thing with these wild donkeys and domestic donkeys and Mustangs as well.
Yeah. Do you have a memorable story that stands out to you?
You know, at the Ty Evans Clinic, when I brought Valhalla.
Oh yeah, so Valhalla, we had her for what, 6 weeks?
Yeah, we had brought home the very first group of wild donkeys. She convinced me to let her bring home while I was frantically building pens. I'm on my way home with her wild donkeys. Anyways, story for another day. And they were from a HMA called Seven Troughs, which I've never been there, but based on, we've had several Seven Troughs donkeys. There must be a lot of predators there, particularly snakes and things that are creepy in the night. And so these donkeys were terrified of shadows, hoses, ropes, rake marks in the grass, or in the pens when we clean poop. They were definitely prey animals and had been preyed upon. And since they were all approximately 10 years old-ish.
Yeah, Valhalla's 9.
Yeah, so they had been dodging mountain lions and coyotes as babies, snakes, bears, whatever lives in the wilderness where they came from. Anyways, very guarded. We finally got through to them just in the nick of time. We brought probably the most wary nervous, suspicious donkey to a Ty Evans clinic. And for me, the most memorable thing was that very first day, taking her out of her pen and leading her into the arena with a bunch of strangers and a bunch of mules and horses and a loudspeaker, people moving around. So for me, that was just to be there to experience it with this donkey who was just 6-7 weeks previously unhandled. No, she was terrified, but she was gentle. She came through it. It was a great process, but just to be part of it was very fulfilling and rewarding.
And how slow you have to go, like how little questions you ask to begin with.
And then, Battle Brothers, if you will, her and I, we survived that first clinic. And that created quite a bond. And she really got closer to me because I was there. I was her security blanket. I didn't let anybody eat her. And I'm really glad she didn't eat me. So we bonded up pretty good, and she became just an amazing donkey. She's with Grace at her forever home, real close to Roundup. We're actually in Roundup.
Oh, yeah.
Here. Living the dream, living the donkey dream.
With a beautiful, wonderful family. They have it made
if we
there.
could, it'd be my dream to find a home like she got for every donkey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something else about the nervousness that stands out to me, because we're dealing with it right now. The 7 troughs, HMA donks. If the water was like this far from the top of the water trough, they would stop drinking. And I would be down there working with them, and I would notice that their urine was more like apple juice colored instead of clear like we wanted. And we have a 21-year-old who took a long time. We brought him home in June, and he will be going to his forever home as soon as the government opens back up. But so he got here in June, and now it's November, and I still notice if that water trough gets too low, like this much from the top, his urine turns darker, more like apple juice. So then it's not like that for every donkey, because they're all so different.
And you don't know who, for us, and I recommend it for those of you watching. Keep your water troughs full.
Yes.
Number one is it's good for the donkeys if they're nervous about the water. Number two, it takes less time to fill it up. If you see it's this low, run the hose for 2.5 minutes to get it up to the top, so that if anybody's nervous about drinking water, you can make it a lot easier for them.
And you're gonna know that they're nervous because you'll notice their urine being a darker color, right? So we have 4 in the wild pen right now. Seamus is one of them, guys, and he's not wild.
Yeah, he gets pretend. Yeah.
He just likes to be in there. But when I'm down there working with them, I can always see all their different urine. They always pee while I'm down there, and then I know if any of them are nervous about drinking that water. It's like, oh, I better go top that off again.
Yep. Be back in 10 seconds. I got to stir the meat.
Stan's cooking dinner. He's the cook in our family. All right, so the next thing is reflect on what it taught me about communication or fear. This year at the Ty Evans Clinic, I hosted here in Roundup, and I brought Wild Donkey off for the cow working clinic. Now, guys, I've never been around cattle. I'm afraid of them. I'm not gonna lie. I'll just be transparent. I'm afraid. They have horns. So I had to go walk with my Wild Donkey off through all the cattle, and I really am nervous. And Ah is almost as nervous as Bahala. So I noticed that if I didn't focus on the cattle and I focused on something beyond the cattle, she would walk more easily without me having to encourage her. So that was just my fear affects them. So if you cross that bridge or have fear, know that if we can borrow them some confidence, that can be helpful.
And if you're crossing a big bridge and a donkey who's never crossed a bridge, the secret is have your wife sing Soft Kitty.
I did sing Soft Kitty for him.
Honk made it about a third of the way across that bridge and then just flat out said no. And so we got turned around off the bridge. I didn't go over. The bridge has got railings like this tall. Then it's like 20-foot drop down the river. So we're on a group ride with our saddle club, so it wasn't like, oh, I'll just wait here, I have to go with. So MaryJo sang Soft Kitty.
I went first with Seamus, because Seamus isn't afraid of anything. Then I sang Soft Kitty.
Yep.
And it worked. He got across.
We got across. It was a big day, yeah.
So tomorrow, guys, we're going to go live again. Our goal is going to be to go live at 6:30, with the exception of Thursdays, because I joined a book club that starts at 6:30. So we'll go live at 6:30 every other day of the week. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the very first steps when you bring a wild donkey home before you
that'll be
ever
fun.
start. Yeah.
That will be fun.
So we'll talk about setup, like what you need to have ready for your wilds, and
Yeah.
then what the first steps are that we do.
And then for those watching, between now and tomorrow, shoot MaryJo a message on any specific questions about when you first bring your wild home.
Oh, heck yeah.
So we can go ahead and get those answers for you live.
You're brilliant. That's why I married him.
I thought it was my legs.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys have an amazing day. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. How do I stop it?
Maybe hook up to a clapper, you can clap your hands.